What's up YouTube? I'm Trent Wel-Don. Welcome back to the channel Wel-Don Tanks. I want to show you something that I saw in one of Dean's fish room tours for my aquarium co-op that I think is pretty freaking genius and is going to allow a lot of people to breed. It's going to allow a lot of people to breed in those long wanted summer tubs, but actually all year round. So we'll be leaving a link up in the corner on the card of the exact fish room tour where I saw this. So that fish room tour was done by Corey with Aquarium Co-op in Master Breeder Dean's fish room. And one of the things I saw was kind of as a side note, Dean went down to the very bottom rack or bottom shelf of his rack and slid out this tub and was breeding rice fish in there. I'm sorry, I am sweating tonight, so we're full steam ahead working in the fish room. I've actually been down here all night. And we're sitting in a balmy, what are we at right now? 80 degrees down here, like 50% humidity. So we're warm down here, but that's all right. Side note. So yeah, Dean had this really genius idea of breeding rice fish in the tub. And the thing is, like, you can breed rice fish in any type of tank you want, right? Like, it doesn't have to be in a tub. A lot of people like to do them outside in the summer tubs because they can be really prolific breeders for you. But and with that summer tubbing too, you can get some nice coloration, some free life foods, good plant growth, all that kind of a thing. But Corey and Dean had a really good discussion regarding this, that rice fish are actually meant to be viewed from above. Over in like Japan, where they originated from, like all that area, like they're bred to be viewed from above, and most of the time people are going to keep them in some type of tub setting. Ryo Watanabe, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll leave a link though to some of his videos in the description. Ryo does some incredible videos talking about rice fish and having them in like pots and little mini ponds out on his deck and different things. So it's kind of got me really thinking of, I wanted to replicate what I saw in Dean's fish room, which has kind of been a theme here in my fish room, but I wanted to replicate that. So I kind of went to a super nerd level and watched that video numerous times to figure out, what he was using, and then I kind of pieced it together in my own way, and I want to show you that tonight. So we're kind of in some close quarters, but this is the very bottom shelf, the husky rack that I'm using in my fish room, and it allows me to just perfectly slide this tote right in there, and then give me ample space to breed rice fish down here. You could do things like guppies. You could do things, I guess, live bears, some shrimp. So there's some options you could play with in here, but I specifically am going to be putting some rice fish in this. Now, if you watched some of my live streams, I talked about this tub I'm using on one of them, and specifics of why. So this is actually the tote that I picked up on that Dean was using, and it's by Brute. So it's a Brute tub. I found this at Lowe's, so I will leave a link in the description to Lowe's website to where you can purchase this. I did find this on Amazon. I could only find gray on Amazon, but it was like twice the price. So kind of spendy. At Lowe's they were 20 bucks a piece. So you can definitely find cheaper ones at Home Depot. That's the black ones. But specifically, I wanted this one for a couple reasons. One, I like that it's white. I like that this is going to reflect. You can see all the light reflection we're getting. So this is going to reflect light back and around to all of the floating plants we're going to have in here, as rice fish like to lay their eggs on the floating plants and then the fry hatch from there. Some of my orange rice fish we're actually going to be setting up in this tote. So the orange, Yuki Madaka rice fish are going to show off really well in this tote. My white ones will be a little harder to see, but that's okay. But the other reason I wanted this specific tote is the bottom of the tote is actually smooth. So the black ones you can buy from Home Depot have some ridges in the bottom, and I really wanted a smooth bottom because this is not set up on an auto water change system. I did run a water line to this that will allow me to refill it, but I will have to do some siphoning and use a pump to remove water out of these. So definitely kind of wanted to make my life a little easier on siphoning out any detritus I choose so. Then I am filtering it with a sponge filter, the core sponge filter from Aquarium Co-op. I'll be leaving links to that as well. I'm using the one rated for 20 gallons. This is a 14-gallon tote. I do not have it filled up all the way. I am going to raise the water level tonight, but just to get started, this is what we have going with this. So a couple things that we're going to add though is, say, rice fish they like floating plants. So I have, what is this, water sprite? So we got some water sprite we're going to float in this. I've already got some jungle val that Peter with Guppy Guru gave me. And then we got some pieces of some guppy grass that Peter with Guppy Guru gave me tonight, kind of starting on that. So he gave me a big blob of the guppy grass, and we're spreading it throughout the fish room. And then this is some Java moss that I'm pretty sure I also got from Guppy Guru at some point. But so we're just gonna add all of this to this tank and let this go nuts, right? So lighting the tank, I have a simple. It's the same LED T5 shop lights I'm using in all the racks. I just found a 2-foot version. But if you wanted to put over like a Finnex Stingray over this, that would work just fine. You know, a Fluval 3.0 is going to work great. But I don't need anything crazy expensive over this. So let's go ahead and actually get the rice fish added to this tank. And I didn't think about it. I'd show you some close-ups in the bucket, but I didn't think about an orange rice fish on an orange bucket wouldn't show. But let me get them added to this tank here, and we'll be able to show you some further, up-close shots of how those rice fish actually look in this tub. What's awesome, and I saw, so we're getting a really bad glare off that light. But what's awesome though is that we get to now enjoy these rice fish how they were meant to be. So this is my colony of the orange Mayuki Medaka Japanese rice fish that we bought off Aquabit a few months ago. They're just just look at them, check that out, just cruising around that tub there. And then look how good things that Java moss looks right there. Look how good this jungle val looks. Some guppy grass looks. Like everything just looks fantastic in this tub. So really excited that I saw this and kind of put this together, as this is probably my new favorite way to keep rice fish right now, is just in this tub, to allow me to really enjoy them in a top-down view, and especially on these orange ones, when we start getting fry, of how easy they are going to be able to see on the surface. So really happy with this. So I hope this helps somebody. I really do hope that this gave somebody an idea, something that they want to try out in their fish room. Maybe they want to try just in a room. I don't even know. So this is going to be kind of I've really been wanting to work on a series of how to breed Japanese rice fish, and this is one of them. Get yourself some floating plants, get yourself some good Java moss, some jungle val, some guppy grass, some kind of light, some easy to grow floating plants. Add the rice fish and just watch them go bonkers in whatever tank you're trying to breed them in. So you could absolutely put these into like a 10-gallon tank, fill it up with some Java moss, maybe some like Sawasser tang. That's another plant I really want to get for these guys, and just enjoy them. So by far, this is one of my favorite fish now to play with, and I am so happy to have them in the fish room, like literally in the fish room. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give the thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, as we have plenty more things to come with Japanese rice fish.